What is going on, warriors and mage mains of Tamaris? Welcome to the ultimate guide of Vardun in Call of Dragons. We got a brand new mage hero in the game, and today we're gonna check out all the talent trees, the artifacts, the warpets, pretty much everything that makes this hero so OP for the open field. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Let's get this party started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, another day, another new toy in Call of Dragons. Say hello to the Samoan dwarf in Call of Dragons. He looks like The Rock or Maui from that Disney movie. So yeah, this guy is gonna be so good for the open field combat. He is gonna be a must-have in your lineup, especially if you wanna destroy those annoying infantries in the open field. Now, in my previous video, I said that this guy was gonna be better than Yun Ming. That was because I thought his ravage that you get from his awakening skill was gonna trigger immediately when he enters battle, allowing you to do 1600 fire damage to 3 targets. Turns out that's not how it works. You need to cast a rage skill in order to get the ravage rune to do some damage. So that's the only problem. As it stands, this hero is not an instant impact hero like Yun Ming. Yun Ming is still the way to go in Call of Dragons. He is undisputed because of his passive skill that starts giving you value right away, which is good for those quick short fights. Unfortunately, with Mr. Vardun, you are not going to get that right away. But when this guy casts his rage skill, man, things are gonna go crazy. And that is the reason why you need to invest in the guy. We're gonna check out the talent tree, artifact, warpet, everything that you need to know. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the rage skill known as the Chaos Rune. When he casts a rage skill, he's gonna consume the current rune. Depending on rune type, the Legion is gonna cast one of 3 things. He can either do a thunder damage, which is 2000 damage factor. He can do a fire damage, which is 1600 diffuse damage factor to 3 targets. He can do a quake damage, which is 1800 damage factor in a forward facing rectangle. Now, there is one skill here that is more efficient than the other ones, and that is the fire damage. The fire damage is going to do kind of like a circular AoE damage around the enemy, which makes you hit many people at the same time right away. Now, when it comes to the quake damage, it's going to be a forward rectangle, which means you have a chance to miss people who are behind the enemies. So when you fight your enemies, try to target someone who is behind another person. Don't target the person who is like closest to you. If you want to hit all of them, I think when you're fighting, you just target people who are kind of far away. That way, if you trigger the quake damage, you can catch them in that rectangular shape. That is the only downside of the quake damage. When it comes to the thunder damage, it's almost similar to what is it called? The fire damage, because it's a circular AoE, but you don't really care about the thunder damage because it's just a single target damage. It's gonna hit somebody. But the fire damage is going to be the way to go. It is what you need for this hero to be doing some crazy stuff. Now we're gonna go straight to the awakening skill. When you see in the awakening, you get a 20% more hero rage skill damage, and then while you're in the field, you have a 100% chance to gain a ravaging rune. Now, a ravaging rune is gonna let you do a fire damage. When you go to the second skill over here, when you gain a ravaging rune and you cast a rage skill, it's going to automatically become a fire damage, which is what you want. It's gonna hit the person and then people who are surrounding that person, which is very, very good for you. So every time when you enter battle, you're going to get a random rune. But when you awaken this hero, it's gonna make it so that you 100% get a fire rune every single time you cast your first rage skill on the field. Without the awakening, you're going to get one of these 3 damages at random. But with the awakening, it's gonna make it so that you cast the fire damage as the first rage skill that you do on the enemy. And then the second skill is gonna come in. The second skill is gonna make it so that your second rage skill is also going to be a fire damage. So this skill just makes you hit 2 fire damage in a row. So I think it's pretty good. I don't really understand the second skill properly. Maybe with time, we will figure out what it does. Now we keep this pushing. We go on to skill number 3. You just get magic defense of 20%, magic attack of 20. And then we go to skill number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the real deal. This is what makes this guy so good. Now, when you trigger this skill, you are going to get 4 different debuffs on the enemy. And that is just beautiful. When you get 4 debuffs, your pet is gonna go crazy. Let me bring out this pet and just show you guys. So I bought this intense Firefox skill. Okay, you need to take this skill to 3 stars. That way your new hero can do some crazy stuff. So when you have this skill on your pet, when you trigger this thing while doing your rage skill, you're gonna get 4 different debuffs on the enemy, which means you're gonna be hitting this thing 4 times with every single rage skill casting. So this pet has become kind of like the bullion beast. You guys know how the bullion beast does some crazy damage with cavalry. This new pet is just like the bullion beast, but I think it is better than the bullion beast because you can hit it 4 times with every single rage skill before you even cast the talent skill of the pet. So this is beautiful. To get the best damage out of this new hero, you are gonna need that pet, man. You need that pet at a good level. You don't need a sand lizard. So I think I have gone on too much about the skills. It's a little bit complicated, but hopefully I made it simple for you guys. You can get away with a 5-1-5-1. You can really get away with it. If you want the best, you can go with a 5-1-5-5. That's gonna be good. And if you want to keep doing fire damage almost every single time, then you go with the awakening. Awakening is gonna let you do more fire damage, which is pretty good. But 5-1-5-5 is gonna be good, and you are good to go. Next topic, we check out some awesome pairings for Mr. Vardun in Call of Dragons. And the first one that comes to mind is going to be Mr. Kantaman. Kantaman is going to make the enemy do 15% less damage, so this is going to be good if you want to deal with those infantry who do a lot of counter attack. Like, you can put this feeble, and then all of your 4 legions or 5 legions will not be taking a lot of counter attack damage dealt. That's one of the coolest thing about this hero. You don't really need this hero to like activate Mr. Vardun, so you can get away by not investing in this hero. And then when you go to the awakening of this hero, he's gonna give you some good stuff, up to 56% additional damage dealt. But I feel like if you go with Seluna, you're gonna be getting some good stuff. Seluna is gonna give you, I think, almost 75% damage dealt. And you guys know, when you're in the Dragon Siege season, Seluna is gonna be working with this guy to do some crazy stuff on enemies. So you might have to think twice if you're gonna be investing in Kantaman. You don't really need him for this Vardun, but he's gonna be doing some good stuff for you. The good thing is he can penetrate the enemy defense, giving you 48% defense penetration. If you look over here, Mr. Vardun can do like 4 different debuffs, which means you can get all the defense penetration almost instantly right away. So this is pretty good. Those are the 2 good pairings. Now, if you want to split them up, if you want to split Vardun from Mr. Kantaman, you can put this guy with Lilia. He's going to do very good. You can put this guy with Yunming, because Vardun with his artifact can get like 25% attack right away, and Yunming is going to benefit from that attack with his hero skill damage. Could be very good for those city hopping situations. And also when you trigger the pet is going to do some good stuff with this skill. You're going to get 4 debuffs, which means this pet is going to hit this skill 4 times with the rage skill of the hero. So that is going to be fantastic. Another good pairing is going to be Thea. Thea can give you some good survivability on this lineup and help you go crazy. So that's going to be nice. You can also go with Velin. Velin looks okay. I don't know if it's going to be excellent, because Velin has this ability here which can also work with the Firefox, this pet, and trigger it. So that is pretty nice. I don't think people are going to be doing Velin, but he works with the hero. Who else do I see working? You also have the likes of Thunderlin. You got plenty of good mage heroes over here. I think we'll just have to play around with the mages to see who is going to be best of the best with Mr. Vardun. But as it stands, I think two people are going to stand out. One of them is going to be Cantaman and the other one is going to be Seluna. But I think Seluna is the most efficient one, man. Between Seluna and Cantaman, I think Seluna is probably the way to go. Because next season, you're going to get her policy. And guys, do you know what Vardun is going to do with the 75% damage dealt you're going to get from Seluna? Man, it's going to be something else. So yeah, this is the pairings for these new heroes in the game. Let's talk about the Warpets in Call of Dragons. And you don't even need to think. You're going to have to build yourself a Firefox. I know, you guys want your Sun Lizards. Unfortunately, Sun Lizard is not the real deal for this guy. This guy gets some of his damage from the Firefox. If you build this Firefox properly, man, you are going to be shining. You're going to be doing so much damage with the rage skill of this hero. Remember, when this guy casts a rage skill, he is immediately going to get 4 different debuffs because of these skills. The skills will apply on the enemy and you get 4 debuffs and you trigger this skill 4 times. Now imagine you take it to 3 stars, you build it with all the critical package for the mages. Do you know how much damage you're going to inflict? And when you have resonance as well, upgraded at a high level, say you got like a maxed out spirit, because these 2 skills are all spirits, and then you have magic spirits also, which is a spirit skill. Do you know what you're going to be doing with the crit rate from the magic fortune? Oh my goodness, this guy is going to be nuts when he casts his rage skill. And you put Seluna behind him, you give him that 75% damage dealt in the Dragon Siege season. Oh boy, your mages are going to be frying your enemies for dinner. So this is the pet that you use. I don't think you should waste your time on a Sun Lizard. Please don't do it unless you want to miss out on some good stuff. So this is the only downside of the hero. You just have to use this pet instead of anything else. But this pet is going to be awesome. You can still use this guy with this pet and then use 4 Sun Lizards on your other legions and you are good to go. I think that pretty much solves the problem. So again, guys, make sure you invest in this pet because you really need this pet to get the job done. I don't know about the talent skill, but what you need is this intense Firefox. And the downside is that you're going to have to buy it because it's very, very expensive. When we go to the pet shop, you can see that all the rich Krakens have bought everything. Now the prices are going up like crazy. As you can see, we have hit the price ceiling. When the price ceiling comes off, this pet skill is going to be 28,000 and I think it's going to be the most expensive mage pet. If you take your pets to 3-star skills with this thing, man, it's going to be slapping enemies on the field left, right, bringing you lots and lots of merits. Now, other good skills that you really need to focus on are here. We got the magic fortune. As you can see here, the price is going up. The smart people have already started buying it. If you're smart, you're going to jump on the bandwagon and get these 2 skills as fast as possible. Elemental harmony might be good as well, especially if you don't want to use follow-up on this new pet. So yeah, things are going to change, man. This new hero is going to be kicking booty with this freaking magic Firefox. It's going to be awesome. Up next, we're going to go over the artifacts. And there is one artifact that you need to get. It is right here. This artifact right here, Doom Bracers. This artifact is fantastic. Just go through it, read it, and you will see the good stuff that it's going to do on the field. Now, the best thing about this artifact is the additional effect. You're going to get up to 25% attack when you enter battle. Because it says when the Legion gains a rune, when you gain a rune. So check this out. Every time you enter battle, the Legion gains a random rune upon entering battle. So you don't need the awakening to get a rune. You can already get a rune every time you enter battle. So that's going to be awesome. Awakening just makes it so that you do the fire damage instead. So when it comes to the artifact, you know what to do. Make sure you go for this thing. It's going to be slapping people on the field left, right. And the good thing about this artifact is that you get magic unit defense and legion attack. You guys have seen how the visage of the Sanctus really works on the field. It does pretty good with that magic defense. And the good thing is you get 25% attack from this artifact. and you get another 20% attack from here, giving you 45% attack already. And then when you put Thea behind this guy as well, oh boy, I think you're gonna be tanky as hell, especially with this pet. But you know, we're gonna need to move the heroes around to see who is gonna be the best pairings. Anyway, this is the artifact section. You already know what to do, guys. You go with the Doom Bracers. You don't even need to think twice. In my case, I failed to unlock this artifact. I spent 180 keys and got no luck. Check this out, guys. Forge of Light. We go to the Forge of Light. You can see I am here at pity. Come on, just flip quick. You can see I'm at 2 out of 2. I got cooked, so I don't have this artifact. I think I'm gonna wait maybe 2 or 3 weeks, then unlock it. With all of that out of the way, let us check out some talent trees that you can use with this brand new magic toy in Call of Dragons, Mr. Vardun. I don't have him at level 60, so we're gonna use the Roots of War feature. So this is the talent tree that you use with the hero. You're gonna have 1 point left. You can drop it anywhere you want. Let's see, I'm gonna drop it here because we have an infestation of infantry in the open field. So it's pretty much the standard magic tree. Now over here, you're gonna have to decide between Steady Hands and the Raging Tide. I don't know which one gives you the best value, so that's gonna be up to you. But when it comes to the end over here, I think you shouldn't go with Thirst for Blood. You should go with Caged Animal instead. Now, why should you pick Caged Animal? When you look at this hero rage skill, it is either 1800 damage or 1600 damage. So 5%. I mean 0.5% of 1600 or 1800 damage is massive. Previously, we had heroes like, let me see, when we bring out someone like Lilia, Lilia only has like 1200 damage. So when you pick Caged Animal for Lilia, 0.5% additional damage doesn't look too compelling. But when you check out this hero, he's got 1800 or 1600 damage. And you multiply that by 0.5% for the first rage skill, and then 1% for the second rage skill, your deputy. And then when this hero casts his skill again, it's gonna go all the way up to 1.5%. So that is on the third rage skill done by your heroes. So the primary does 1.5%, the deputy does a rage skill which is 1%, and then the primary does another rage skill that's gonna be 1.5%. So this is going to be good, provided that you can do 2 rage skill cycles on the enemy, which is what you're going to be doing. So the Caged Animal, I feel like, is the way to go. Now you're going to use Boiling Blood because your deputy is going to be someone who casts a rage skill, unless you're going to be going with Thea. Now, if you're going to be using Thea as a deputy, you're going to pick this skill, and I think you should go with Thirst for Blood if you're going to be using Thea. That's what I would recommend. So for Thea, you go with this Spirit of Rage, and then you pick Thirst for Blood. Now, why would you pick Thirst for Blood for Thea? Because Thea does not have a rage skill. If you give her Caged Animal, Thea will not be able to use this. She is going to trigger it, but she's not going to use it. But when it comes to Thirst for Blood, even though Thea doesn't have a rage skill damage factor, whenever she casts a rage skill, she is going to do 60 damage factor. And I think that is pretty good. Overall, this is what the talent tree looks like. This is what I would recommend. The second talent tree that we're going to check out is going to be the one with 41% march speed, because I know many people use 41% march speed. I myself, I'll probably be using 41% march speed because I don't really like slow marches. I don't care about the extra damage that you get. But I really like maneuverability, being able to walk, being able to run away from those cavalry. Remember, in evolution, you don't need to run faster than the lion. You just need to run faster than someone who is next to you. So if you can run faster than someone who is next to you, they are the ones who are going to get targeted, and you get away in peace. So that's what I like. It's also good for kiting, you know. You immediately get to the enemy, start hitting them, and then when it is down south, you make a U-turn and you run away, and your teammate who is slow as a tortoise is gonna get caught and annihilated. So yeah, this is gonna be good. So 41% march speed, pretty good for some people, but if you don't like the march speed, this is what I recommend. this one right here. This is the way to go. And that's it for the guide for Mr. Vardun in Call of Dragons. I don't think he is better than Yun Ming, but he is going to be a game changer in your lineup. You're going to need him in your lineup. And to get the best value out of this guy, you are going to need the Magifox and the Intense Firefox. Make sure you focus on Spirit and Luck. You can get away with a little bit lower intelligence, I think. But if you can get a high Spirit and high Luck, I think you will be good to go with this lineup. It's going to be awesome. And with the artifact, you need the Doom Bracers. That is the way to go. Now, when it comes to the pairings, you're going to have to think twice between Selûne and Cantaman. They are both good. With Selûne, when you go to the Dragon Siege season, she's going to be somebody on drugs. So that's going to make a difference as well. But Cantaman is also another good one. He's going to help your whole lineup. You take less damage with the damage reduction, and you can also do some crazy defense penetration on the infantry. So yeah, I don't want to underestimate both heroes when it comes to Selûne and Cantaman. It's going to be up to you to decide who you want now. If you want someone who is versatile, then Selûne is probably going to be the best way to go. In my case, I'm going to be going with Selûne because I want her in my cavalry lineup. As you can see here, I haven't unlocked this hero because I don't really care so much about him. Selûne can already do a lot of good stuff. So this is pretty much it. I'm going to iterate again. You're going to need this pet to make this lineup to fire on all cylinders. So that's how it goes. Let me know down below how this hero has been performing for you. Has he been doing great? Do you think he is better than Yun Ming? Comment down below. Unfortunately, I don't have him maxed out to give you the best information about the hero, but I think it's going to be good in your lineup, mainly because of skill number 4. This debuff is going to be nice for you. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, we shall meet again in the next video. Bye bye for now.